Okay. Hold on. I was honestly hoping I didn't have to go live today, but we have a tornado emergency right now for for West Central Cadell and North Central Lyon counties. Again, tornado emergency for Critter. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Again, this is a tornado emergency. We had a pretty thick debris ball on this hook echo. Very well-defined supercell as well. Just a couple radar frames ago, we did have a pretty large debris ball. Very, very large debris ball there. Tons of debris being lofted. Again, strong and potentially probably violent tornado on the ground right now. Again, tornado emergency for Critter. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. I need to update some of the things on our on the thing for Ohio River Valley, including strong to violent along track tornadoes, widespread, massive, 3+ inch. Okay. Again, tornado emergency for Critter. Moving into white sulfur here. We can check our velocities here. But yeah, this is definitely not a good situation at all. Thank goodness that the area of rotation honestly does not look as bad as previously. It was significantly stronger, and that's why they issued the tornado emergency. It was significantly stronger when they first issued it. It took me a minute to get the word out about the tornado emergency and then to go to live, but we have a big correlation coefficient drop here. Definitely a lot of debris that's being lofted. Again, tornado emergency is in effect for white sulfur. Hopefully it didn't it looks like white sulfur took a direct hit, unfortunately. If you know anyone in white sulfur or Critter, please be able to check up on them. This is in this is in Western Kentucky here. I thought it was in Southern Kentucky. But very, very cyclical supercell, very well-defined supercell, and it's perfectly isolated from basically anything. So it has free range to use this environment any way it wishes. But again, tornado emergency for white sulfur. This is a significant tornado, probably violent. At least it was violent previously, and we had a pretty large debris ball. So it is a destructive tornado as well. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. This is not something that you want to play around with. I was hoping I didn't have to go live today. But again, tornado emergency in effect for white sulfur and Critter. It has moved past white sulfur. Unfortunately, it does look like white sulfur did take a direct hit. If you know anyone in this affected region, please check up on them. Definitely a really, really powerful tornado. And still tell that there's a debris ball as well. Confirmed large and destructive tornado. Thankfully, it's there's not really a deep debris ball anymore, and it's moving out of the tornado emergency, which is good. But again, tornado emergency is still in effect. Even outside of it, this is a PDS tornado warning. We have multiple tornado warnings here. Good couple of them are actually, no, this is the only confirmed tornado right now, and it's PDS. That PDS tornado warning was also continued eastward for Madisonville, Arlington, and Nortonville. Again, a large and destructive tornado is currently on the ground. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Again, that includes Madisonville, Earlington, Nortonville. Again, please take shelter immediately. Other areas include PV, Morton's Gap, 6th Vein, Fiddlebow, and Charleston. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately, including Fryer and Needmore, all in Kentucky. Storms are moving out of the tornado, or this tornado is moving out of the tornado emergency. I don't know if they'll continue it or not. Hopefully not, because it honestly doesn't look as defined anymore, but there's still a tornado on the ground. Yeah, there's still some really strong rotation. And correlation coefficient drop is very clear there as well. Again, tornado is still on the ground and is fully detached from our main parent storm. Hopefully they'll cancel this tornado warning here. Hopefully they won't extend this, or tornado emergency. Hopefully they don't extend this tornado emergency. But PDS tornado warning is still in effect for a good chunk of this region. A tornado warning for northeastern Cadwell County in western Kentucky, southern Hopkins County in northwestern Kentucky. A confirmed large and deadly tornado has been located just south of Farmsville or near Princeton, moving east at 30 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Again, this is a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. Tornado will be near Dawson Springs in only around 8:30 p.m. CDT. Madisonville, Earlington, and Morton's Gap around 8:55 p.m. CDT. Mortonville around 9 p.m. CDT. Other areas, other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm includes St. Charles, Fryer, and White Plains. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. This is a confirmed tornado still. Again, the tornado has still been confirmed. Very well defined supercell here. Tornado is still on the ground. And yeah, this is definitely been quite a wild day. Not only for the people that have been affected more so directly by these severe thunderstorms right now, but also I was also impacted as well. I got a really nice wall cloud earlier today, and a very well defined and sculpted updraft. There was some really nice storm structure and some severe thunderstorms. I'm on the one severe thunderstorm that passed over my house with a very well defined wall cloud. I'm honestly surprised wasn't tornado warned by the look of it. But again, tornado emergency is still in effect. It's probably going to be canceled here soon. Tornado is basically completely out of the tornado emergency polygon by this point. But still in an... oh, never mind. We got another debris... We still have a debris ball here. Still really high reflectivity right on the hook echo there. Right on the end of the hook echo where the tornado would be. Still have that debris ball there. Again, a powerful tornado still on the ground, and it's still destructive. just by the look of this newest radar scan, they're probably going to continue this tornado emergency further east. But right now, PDS tornado warning in effect for a good couple of these regions, including northeastern Cadwell County in western Kentucky, southern Hopkins County, northwestern Kentucky. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Other areas of impact include Dawson Springs in only around 8:30 p.m. CDT, Madisonville, Earlington, and Morton's Cap around 8:55 p.m. CDT, and Nortonville around 9 p.m. Yeah, they continue this tornado warning here, or tornado emergency. The tornado emergency was continued further eastward as a result of this newest radar scan here. Tornado emergency has been continued for eastern Cadwell County. Tornado warning for east central Cadwell County in western Kentucky. Confirmed large and destructive tornado was observed near Farmsville or near Princeton, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Tornado emergency for eastern Cadwell County. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Again, tornado emergency in effect. The highest level that you can get for any sort of tornado warning. Tornadic thunderstorm will remain only over mainly rural areas, thank goodness, of east central Cadwell County. But still, it has a really, really well-defined debris ball here. This is a significant tornado. Very, very turbulent, very strong rotation there as well. Definitely a very, very strong tornado. This is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Again, tornado emergency in effect for, I'm pretty sure, Cadwell County. Yeah, Caldwell County. Still some really strong, very turbulent rotation there. Hopefully this begins to die down soon, because this is definitely got a really scary look to it. Still a very, very well defined debris ball there. That's all debris being picked up by the radar at the very end of that hook echo there. Deep correlation coefficient drop. I really wish I could see our not sure what this is. Not sure what I did here. I'm trying to look at it volumetrically, because we should be able to see the debris. Oh gosh. Here, we'll do this. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on. We'll just not worry about it. Pretty sure it's bugged, but again, tornado emergency still in effect here for eastern Caldwell County. Again, tornado emergency confirmed. Large and a deadly tornado is on the ground, currently ongoing. Here, let me move chat where I can see it. Again, tornado emergency currently in effect. Let me fix our radar. Still a debris ball there. Very well defined debris ball. Definitely still a very strong and potentially even violent tornado ongoing right now. But yeah, very, very strong, very turbulent rotation there. Very, very strong rotation. Yeah, this has a catastrophic damage risk on it. So if that puts it into perspective, if that doesn't put it in perspective about how dangerous a tornado emergency is, then I don't know what does. Hopefully this tornado warning or tornado emergency will soon go away, because this is still a very, very scary sign, especially with the debris ball. Definitely has some really, really powerful rotation on it still, and everyone else in the PDS tornado warning still in a really dangerous spot as well, with this confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado. Again, northeastern Caldwell County in western Kentucky, southern Hopkins County in northwestern Kentucky, until 9:15 p.m. CDT. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Again, a confirmed tornado. Tornado will be near Dawson Springs and only around 8:30 p.m. CDT. Madisonville, Arlington, and Morton's Gap around 8:55 p.m. CDT. Nortonville around 9 p.m. CDT. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include St. Charles, Fryer, and White Plains. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Again, this is a very, very dangerous situation here. A very strong tornado ongoing currently. Again, tornado emergency continues in effect for portions of Caldwell County. Eastern Caldwell County. Here's the tornado report. Tornado ongoing by Train Spotter. This would also be able to be a radar confirmed tornado as well. Very big correlation coefficient drop. Very clear correlation coefficient drop. Definitely a tornado on the ground right now. And still area very, very strong rotation there. Still a debris ball ongoing. Definitely an extremely scary look to it. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Come on. Hopefully they don't extend this tornado emergency, because this is very, very, very scary look to it. By the way, everything on the where my mouse isn't going. Oh, they continued this tornado emergency. Tornado emergency was continued for western Hopkins County and areas between Olney and Dawson Springs. National Weather Service in Putaca has issued a tornado warning for east central Caldwell County in western Kentucky, southwestern Hopkins County, and northwestern Kentucky. Confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado and destructive tornado has been observed. Near Olney or near Dawson Springs, moving east at 30 miles per hour. This tornado may miss north of Dawson. Again, that's a may. It could hit Dawson. But it will be very close. All persons in the area need to take cover immediately. Again, this is a tornado emergency for western Hopkins County and areas between Olney and Dawson Springs. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. This has been a confirmed tornado by not only radar, but also train spotters on the ground. Tornado will be near Dawson Springs and Olney around 8:40 p.m. CDT. Again, tornado emergency continues. This is the longest tracked I've seen a tornado emergency, I think. Aside of the April 27, 2024 outbreak with those other two tornado emergencies. Still, really well-defined debris ball. Still there. Very, very clear. I'll see if I can get WSV3 to actually open. Hopefully it will. No, I don't want to update it. Ooh, okay, it does work. We'll switch to WSV3 here. So this is what a tornado emergency looks like on WSV3. What radar site am I connected to? Okay, so what is good is that when viewed from the southern radar site there, just to the south, which is now the closest radar site, it doesn't have as defined of a debris ball. In fact, there's not really much of a debris ball at all on the when viewed from the south. I'm gonna turn off shading for now, or turn off smoothing. Yeah, still very, very defined hook echo here. Very, very violent rotation as well. Still very, very strong rotation, and very, very clear correlation coefficient drop. There again, debris still being lofted into the atmosphere. I'll be using radar Omega and WSV3 at the same time. Again, tornado emergency is still in effect. Tornado emergency in effect for Western Hopkins County and areas between Olney and Dawson Springs. East Central Caldwell County in Western Kentucky. Southwestern Hopkins County in Northwestern Kentucky. Tornado emergency for Western Hopkins County and areas between Olney and Dawson Springs. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado will be near Dawson Springs and Olney around 8:40 p.m. CDT. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. This is not something that you want to test your luck with. This is very, very, very dangerous. Very, very violent rotation here. Very strong rotation. Very, very clear tornado on the ground right now. Very well-defined hook echo. Thankfully, it is becoming slowly less defined over time, but still has a really, really nasty look to it. Tornado vortex. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let's actually see what. Yeah, you can see the track of this thing. Still very, very well-defined hook echo here. Again, tornado is definitely still on the ground. Very, very strong area of rotation there. Very, very strong rotation. Again, if it puts it into perspective for you, this is damage threat. The damage threat is catastrophic. So, again, if you do live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. This is not something you want to test your luck with. To be honest, I don't really know what else to say. But like you can look again. Damage threat is catastrophic. So If you do live in any of the affected region, you do not want to test your luck with this thing. This is very, very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Thankfully, it does look like the area of rotation is becoming overall less defined and kind of merging with the storm itself. But definitely a tornado is still on the ground regardless, so the risk is not over yet. Very well defined correlation coefficient drop there. Debris is still being lofted into the atmosphere. Here, let me activate live scan. There's still a debris ball in this region. We're even getting a little bit of a B word here. It's really revealing its strength to us right now. Like, this is definitely a really strong tornado. Again, tornado emergency, it remains in effect. Again, emergency. Very, very strong rotation. Very tight. Very, very strong. Beware there. It's really indicating how strong it is to us right now. This is more of a display of power than anything. Again, tornado emergency remains in effect. Getting a new radar scan here. Not sure what's going on there. And tornado emergency remains in effect. Not sure what's going on there, why we're missing a pixel, but this is still a very strong tornado still ongoing. Really, really powerful. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. Again, tornado emergency is in effect still. And tornado damage threat is catastrophic, so this is going to do some serious damage to anything that's in the path. Again, we're still getting that debris ball here. Oh my gosh, yeah, significantly deeper, significantly more concerning on radar Omega here. Let me switch to radar Omega. This is something that needs to be seen. Then this is why there's a tornado emergency out right now. Very, very deep debris ball here. Very, very large amounts of debris currently being lofted into the atmosphere. Very, very strong, very tight rotation there. Inbound pixels upwards of 105, outbound upwards of 69, and a extremely deep correlation coefficient drop there. And a very large debris ball. Again, this is why there's a tornado emergency currently. Let me switch to the high resolution ensemble forecast color table that I made. Again, that's a very, very well defined debris ball there. Again, if you live in Charleston, please take shelter immediately. You're immediately on the chopping block. Charleston is basically directly in the path. If you live in Charleston, Kentucky, please take shelter immediately. There's something I'm looking for. I'm trying to change color tables here. Yeah, still an extremely well-defined debris ball. And if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately, especially in Charleston. But tornado emergency remains in effect for East Central Cadwell County in western Kentucky, southwestern Hopkins County, northwestern Kentucky. Confirmed large and destructive tornado has been observed. Tornado emergency for western Hopkins County areas between Olney and Dawson Springs. Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Again, tornado emergency is still in effect. Tornado will be near Dawson Springs and Olney around 8:40 p.m. CDT. Again, tornado emergency in effect for Charleston, which is immediately in the path right now. Again, if you live in Charleston, please take shelter immediately. This is no joke. If you know anyone that may live in Charleston, Kentucky, please urge them to get to shelter immediately. If you know anyone that lives in this tornado warning polygon, please urge them to get to shelter immediately. Again, a very, very powerful tornado is currently ongoing and has been confirmed by not only radar but also spotters. Very, very deep debris ball too. Still very, very well defined debris ball. It's all debris being lofted, being picked up by radar, and it gets significantly worse. This is extremely bad situation. Hopefully this missed Charleston's, but if you lived in Charleston, please take shelter immediately if you haven't already. Hopefully you have, because this is a very, very dangerous situation. If I switch to the Viper HD color table, we're about to see something that we are dreading. Very, very powerful tornado. Very, very large debris ball there. Very, very well defined. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. This is the deepest the debris ball has gotten for basically the entire time. Very well defined area of rotation. Inflow channels wide open. Just a huge stream of very moist, very warm air, very large amounts of instability, just being pulled into this thing. Very strong rotation there. I think my dog is getting annoyed that I'm like talking so much about this. You can hear her in the background, but it's not going to stop me from talking about this. Ooh, new velocity scan. But again, a very, very dangerous situation here. Why is this tornado warning not expired yet? This one here. This tornado emergency still needs to be in effect. Oops, I don't know what I did, but I missed the radar scan. Oh, never mind, here we go. Still very, very violent rotation. Inflow channel still wide open. Yeah, wide open inflow channel, very, very strong rotation. And the debris ball continues to get deeper as well. Now reaching upwards of 67 dBz. That would be massive hail being indicated by radar, but this is all debris. Very large amounts of debris is currently being lofted into the atmosphere. Hopefully it didn't hit Charleston, but it went very, very close to hitting Charleston. Hopefully Charleston is safe, but if you know anyone that lives in Charleston, please be sure to check up on them. And one thing that's even more concerning is the fact that it does look like we have a little bit of a cell here that is maybe trying to merge here. But it's currently in the updraft, so it's enhancing the strength of the updraft with its with the strength of this cell's downdraft. It's rapidly enhancing that RFT there, in turn creating much stronger inflow and overall a stronger tornado. It's still a very, very deep debris ball. Very, very scary situation. With this cell here trying to merge in, this thing is going to be very, very hidden by rain. So it's going to make the situation even worse. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Again, tornado emergency still in effect. Again, a catastrophic damage risk here. Still some very, very violent rotation. So actually, it does consider tornado emergencies separate. We have 2 PDS tornado warnings right now. And 4 observed tornado warnings, I think. Including the tornado emergency. Nova, please stop. I don't know what my dog's doing. She's just sitting on my bed whining. That needs to be expired. Don't know why that's still going. Nova, stop it. And then we have PDS tornado warning for there. Tornado emergency is obviously PDS tornado. Then another observed tornado warning further to the north here. Oh yeah, definitely some really strong rotation there. Defined embedded hook echo. And a little bit of a correlation coefficient drop, but it's definitely on the ground. But definitely an observed tornado warning for these areas I'm about to read off. Northern Warwick County in southwestern Indiana, northeastern Spencer County in southwestern Indiana, southeastern Gibson County in southwestern Indiana, southeastern Pike County in southwestern Indiana. Tornado has been confirmed. And then we also have another well-defined hook echo embedded along this line heading towards Washington in Indiana. Definitely have some really tight rotation there, some pretty strong rotation. And what seems to be a little bit of a correlation coefficient drop there. So wouldn't be surprised to see that get the radar confirmed signature there in a moment. But let's move back to our tornado emergency. Even from whatever radar site we're just on, it's still very, very well-defined debris ball. Very, very well-defined debris ball here. This is all debris that's still being lofted into the atmosphere. Again, very, very dangerous situation. Very, very strong tornado. They're going to continue this tornado emergency for sure. Probably we'll see the tornado emergency be extended into Earlton and Morton's Gap. Or Earlington and Morton's Gap. Tornado emergency was expired, actually. It's kind of odd. This is the deepest we've seen the debris ball so far. Hopefully they'll add it back here soon, because it definitely needs it. Because we don't have it anymore, I guess I'll switch it out to PDS tornado. Definitely need a tornado emergency on this thing, though. Kind of surprised that they removed it. Still very, very well defined debris ball there. Very strong, very violent rotation. Inflow channel still wide open too as well. Just constantly feeding this thing. And it's definitely on the ground. Huge correlation coefficient drop in. Very, very deep debris ball still. I'm surprised they removed the tornado emergency. Honestly thought it would be continued into Arlington and Morton's Gap. They'll probably add it back here soon. I don't know why they wouldn't add it back here soon. Yeah, tornado is massive. I'm looking at some of the things on Twitter. Absolutely insane. Very, very powerful tornado. It's absolutely massive too. Okay, they did continue the tornado emergency. I was kind of confused about why they removed it. So we'll switch back to our element that says tornado emergency here. But tornado emergency, new tornado emergency in effect for Central Hopkins County, including Morton's Gap. Tornado warning for southeastern Hopkins County and northwestern Kentucky. Confirmed large and destructive tornado was observed near Dawson Springs, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Tornado emergency for Morton's Gap in Central Hopkins County. This is his particularly dangerous situation. This is his particularly dangerous. What? Not sure why it says that, but interesting, I guess. This is his particularly dangerous situation. But again, regardless, just, jokes aside, I really hope that didn't be taken the wrong way. That was not a joke on my side. I was not trying to joke there. I genuinely did not know what that was trying to say. I don't know if that was a typo or not. Hopefully, I think it is just a typo, but joke is definitely not the right word I should have used there, so sorry about that. But tornado emergency is still in effect for Morton's Gap in Central Hopkins County. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Deadly tornado. Tornado will be near Arlington and Morton's Gap around 9:05 p.m. CDT. This includes the following highways: Interstates 69 in Kentucky near mile markers 96 and between mile markers 100 and 111. Western Kentucky Parkway near mile marker 39. And Pennyrill Parkway near mile marker 34. Still very, very big debris ball. This does include southern Arlington as well in Morton's Gap, as well as Oak Hill. Again, tornado emergency is still in effect. A very, very strong, very violent rotation. Inflow channel still wide open. Huge debris ball here. Huge correlation coefficient drop. Definitely a massive tornado that is doing a lot of destruction across this region. Again, tornado emergency is still in effect with a catastrophic risk for damage. And damage risk is absolutely catastrophic right now. Still very, very, very well defined debris ball. Please, I really hope that this dies off really rapidly. This is now extremely heavily rain wrapped, but we can still very clearly see where the rotation is now. It's crossing, or where the tornado is. It's crossing Hisley Road now. I think that's what that says. No, Ilsley or Isley. road there. Isley Road in Kentucky, just to the southwest of Arlington. Again, this tornado emergency does include Oak Hill, Morton's Gap, and southern Arlington. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. This is a force to be reckoned with. Do not take your chances with this. Hopefully this rapidly dies off, because this is going to be an extremely dangerous situation for Morton's Gap here in the next couple of minutes. This is tracking basically right towards Morton's Gap. Please take shelter immediately if you live in Morton's Gap. This is very, very dangerous. Hold on, I need to get the word out about this. This is not good. Not good at all. Not good whatsoever. I'll watch the radar on my OBS. I still have it pulled up here. Nova, please. Nova, stop. I don't know what my dog wants, but I can't deal with it right now. Morton's Gap again. Please get in your safe spot immediately. Tornadoes heading right for Morton's Gap. A very, very dangerous situation here. Please take shelter immediately if you haven't already, specifically for Morton's Gap. If you do live in the rest of the warning polygon, still take shelter immediately, but Morton's Gap needs to be in shelter more than anyone else in this area. I'm not going to be able to re-chat here for a couple moments. Unless you know when I can again. But again, very, very well defined debris ball there. You can clearly see where the tornado is. I don't know what the abbreviation for Kentucky is. Just not going to worry about it. This is not good. I haven't left just yet. I still am trying to get the word out about the tornado tracking right for Morton's Gap. Again, if you live in Morton's Gap, please take shelter more than anyone else in this polygon. If you live in this polygon, please take shelter immediately, regardless of if you live in Morton's Gap or not. This is tracking right for Morton's Gap. Does look like it may be taking more of a northeastern trajectory, but still gonna head basically right for Morton's Gap, it seems. Southern Arlington looks like it may take a direct hit as well. Either Merlington or Arlington. Yeah, Morton's Gap is gonna be avoided, it seems. It does look like the storm, like the tornado did take a sharp northeastern turn towards Arlington. If you live in Arlington, please take shelter immediately. Either if you live in Morton's Gap or Arlington, please take shelter immediately. Very, very large debris ball. Definitely still a tornado on the ground at the time. Again, this is a violent tornado heading right for Arlington. Huge correlation coefficient drop as well. Lots of debris in the atmosphere right now. Again, if you live in Arlington or Morton's Gap, please take shelter immediately. They did update the tornado emergency polygon a little bit. Just shaved off a little bit off the end, but they should probably extend it more northward towards Arlington, because it does look like it took a little bit of a sharp northeastern turn. Very, very tight, very strong rotation there as well. This is a very, very long tracking too. Still very, very tight rotation there. Very strong as well. It's going to hit what seems to be southern Arlington at least. Or Barnsley as well. Barnsley is like basically right in the path. Still a lot of debris in the atmosphere being picked up by radar. Again, if you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately. Still very violent tornadoes on the ground right now. Okay, Nova, you're going to have to be kicked out of the room. I'm sorry. Okay, I can read chat again. Again, tornado emergency still in effect for Morton's Gap and Arlington. Southern Arlington does look like it may take a direct hit here. Hopefully it just tracks between Barnsley and Arlington, but Barnsley seems to be basically the direct path right now. Did take a little bit of a sharp northeastern turn. Morton's Gap is looking like it may not take a direct hit anymore. Did look like it was going to earlier, but Arlington now looks like it's immediately on the chopping block. Again, if you live in Arlington, please take shelter immediately if you haven't already. It does look like it's going to track just to the south of Arlington, but to the north of Barnsley, but still regardless. This storm has shown clear deviant motion, at least a little bit, so hopefully it'll stay over mostly rural areas. Hopefully it'll go between Arlington and Barnsley. It looks like it's going to thread the needle here, but still very, very dangerously close to these two towns. If you live in the affected region, please take shelter immediately, regardless of what I just said, because it could do anything. It looks like this tornado has shown deviant motion already, and it could continue with that deviant motion. This tornado emergency has basically spanned like 34 miles. This is an extremely long tracking tornado. This is the longest I've seen a tornado emergency go for. But again, tornado emergency is still in effect. This is your current warning text for the tornado emergency. Tornado emergency for Arlington and Morton's Gap. A tornado warning remains in effect until 9:30 p.m. CDT for East Central Hopkins County. At 9:11 p.m. CDT, confirmed large and destructive tornado was located over Arlington, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Tornado emergency for Arlington and Morton's Gap. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Please take cover now. Deadly tornado is the main hazard. Again, deadly tornado. This is a very strong tornado. Source radar confirmed tornado. It's just way too rain wrapped and way too dark now, with it being nighttime to make this a radar or a spotter confirmed tornado. But it is definitely radar confirmed. Tornado will be near Arlington and Morton's Gap around 9:15 p.m. CDT. This includes the following highways: Interstate 69 in Kentucky between mile markers 105 and 111. Western Kentucky Parkway near mile marker 39. Again, an extremely large and very deadly tornado has been confirmed across this region. Thankfully, this has a really unorganized look now. Still some pretty strong rotation, pretty tight there, but it is definitely weakening down significantly. Definitely think that they may expire the tornado emergency now with its new look, but still definitely on the ground. We'll see what they do with this tornado emergency, though. I have a feeling that they'll expire it. This line of severe thunderstorms has actually finally caught up with it. This is a discrete cell, so if it can merge in time, also it looks like it may be taking a little bit of a left split here with this cell that may just lose a huge chunk of itself as it tracks to the northeast, and then it's also going to be overtaken eventually by this very large line. Hopefully it can do that before it begins to strengthen up again, because very discrete cells are insanely more conducive for tornadoes than linear systems. But again, tornado emergency still in effect. Don't know what happened, because the rotation was over here and it kind of just shifted southeast, I think. I don't know if it tracked southeast or no, it did track southeast through Barnsley. It was significantly weaker, but if you know anyone that lives in the small town of Barnsley, Kentucky, please check up on them. Thankfully, the debris ball did not strengthen as it moved over Barnsley, but it's still Barnsley does look like it still took a direct hit. But tornado emergency is still in effect for these areas that you currently see here. Now it's going to move into mainly rural areas, I think. Still a little bit of a debris ball, but it is thankfully calming down so much more. But outside of that, still a PDS tornado warning, which is a particularly dangerous situation. But this storm hopefully will be cut off by this other linear system here. Don't think there is any other confirmed tornadoes. Well, we do have a tornado warning. We do have a PDS for down here, and that's about it. Tornado emergency is still in effect, but it should expire here soon. But man, it's definitely not expecting to see this today. Forecast video about this risk is out, by the way. Let's look at correlation coefficient, because I do know that we may have some insane debris fallout. Oh, I don't. Okay, well, I don't know what they're talking about with debris fallout here, because all of this you're seeing here is not due to debris fallout. This is just areas of low reflectivity. We will likely see debris fallout somewhere. It does seem to be a little bit to the north, but all of that is definitely not debris fallout. It's just not in the downdraft, and it's an area of low reflectivity. Cell merger. It's undergoing a cell merger, though. Thankfully, this does not have as bad of a look as it did previously. It may be either undergoing a cell merger or splitting. Actually, it does look like it kind of is undergoing both right now. It looks like it may be trying to split off to the left here, or to the north. But it also kind of looks like it's trying to merge with a little bit of a cell to the south. Tornado emergency was expired, thank goodness. Yeah, area rotation is just done, basically. It's still rotating, though, but it's very, very weak. Tornado is probably going to pick up at any second now. We also did lose the PDS status, but it isn't currently being considered observed by this time. So, I am going to end the live stream here. Now that we finally don't have a tornado emergency anymore. But that was very, very long track. That was very concerning. This will also be absorbed up into this QLCS. Could still see the potential for some QLCS embedded tornadoes overnight for Kentucky into western northwestern Tennessee. So definitely make sure you're staying weather alert for that. But we do have a couple tornado warnings here. But definitely make sure you're staying weather alert if you live in the affected region. But I'm glad I could have been here to cover this for you. So I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you all for tuning in.